diatoms, so you'd expect that their growth weights would be sort of best on these. Hypothesis 2, looking at the gonad developments, is that diets rich in HU fat, which stands for highly unsaturated fatty acids, will result in better gonad development than any of the other diets. And hypothesis 3 is that, depending on the spawning technique used, spawning will vary, with heat shock having the best effect on induced spawning. And the reason I think this is because lots of studies that I've read, they all use heat shock as the main technique for getting gastropods to spawn. So I'm just going to test whether it is as effective for this particular species as it is for others. So this is experimental 1 design. This is looking at the effects of the different diets on the juvenile animals. And as you can see, it's kind of all randomized to reduce the variability sort of within treatments to maximize comparing variability between the treatments. So the different numbers inside the boxes represent the different diets. So essentially you can see the large water tray with different aquaria. We've got 5 aquaria in 3 columns. The animals will be tagged using maybe nail polish or something like that, just to so we can test individual growth rates and we can tell individuals apart. So there'll be maybe around, if we can obtain 100 juveniles, there'll be around sort of 6 in each tank. And essentially we'll just feed them on the different diets, and at the end of the experiment we can compare the growth rates. Okay, so the methods and data analysis for experiment 1. As I said, the juveniles will be tagged, and then they will all be initially measured, the shell length measured and weighed. And then this initial data will be tested using ANOVA to obviously check there's no significant difference between the weights and the sizes at the start of the experiment. I will then obviously learn how to culture diatoms and create the diets, and then start feeding them. The shell length and the weight of the animals will be taken every 2 weeks, and then we can work on my statistics. So I will go into using ANCOVA and comparison of slopes. With the factors, we have the dependent will be obviously the length or the weight, and the independent will be the different diet. These two are just examples from papers that my data may look like. So this one is looking at trochus. Okay, and the calculation for the gonad somatic index is just at the bottom there, which is the wet weight of the gonad divided by the wet tissue total body weight, which includes the gonad but excludes the shell. For my final experiment, which is testing the effects of the 3 induced spawning techniques, again it will be randomized, and I will use